Hello and welcome. You're listening to Infinite Consciousness Bonus Podcast, the podcast that delivers tips, tidbits, and techniques to people who want to improve their lives, become leading edge creators, and gain a deeper understanding of the law of attraction. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy.
As long as things are going as you want them to, you feel very good. However, if you cannot see the obvious progress, you don't feel so good. Is that the case? If I experience a manifestation that is pleasing to me, then my heart soars. If it is unpleasing to me, then my emotional response is to the reality of what I'm experiencing. Is this what it means? For most people, that's how it is. It's time to move on. The things you give your attention to determine the vibrational offering you make, and the vibrational offering determines the experience you have in the future. To put it another way, if there is something in this moment that you really want to happen, that is missing, or if there is something that is happening that you would like to be missing, when you give a large percentage of your attention to it as it is, then your future experience is going to contain those same missing pots or those same present pots. Observation is the primary source of vibration for most people. It helps if you find what you're observing pleasing. You're hindered if what you observe doesn't please you. People tend to try to control the conditions. Let's face it, good conditions make you feel good, while bad conditions make you feel bad. Why not whip these conditions into shape? Isn't it tiring? It has not worked very well. Power, force, bombs, influence, or numbers cannot be gathered to change enough circumstances to control your vibration. Anyway, it is the hard way to go about it. It is a journey of action, nonetheless, an intense amount of effort. Fighting the current or energy stream that creates worlds is an uphill battle. Rather than trying to control conditions with an action journey, control your vibration with an emotional journey. Controlling your vibration allows you to control what you are emitting vibrationally. When you intentionally put out your vibration and are aware of it, you can manage what comes back to you. This is why it is called intentional creation. What is it? It is intentionally choosing what to focus on based on its vibrational content. Most importantly, choosing based on the way it feels to you when you focus on it. Are those two things the same thing? Yes. How? What you're doing vibrationally and what you feel are always the same thing. Every emotion you experience is, without exception, your innate signal of your vibrational content. And your vibrational content is about your connection to your source energy. You are an extension of source energy. Source energy extends through you. You are an extraordinary creator. Having emerged as a physical creator here in this time-space reality, in this dynamic environment, you realize that you are a focusing genius. You have the energy that creates worlds flowing through you. And as you focus into your immediate surroundings, you choose the objects of your attention. When you focus, you offer a vibration, the object of attention you choose resonates with your current focus stream and broader view, or it doesn't. And when it aligns, you feel wonderful, and when it doesn't align, you don't feel so good. It all comes down to your vibrational connection with Source and what you're doing about it. For example, you are a worthy being. It would be impossible for you to be more loved, adored, understood, and valued than you are. That's just the way it is, no matter what. That's how Source feels about you. How do you feel about yourself? You are in harmony with how Source feels about you if your opinion is in proximity of how Source views you. There's no contradiction, no resistance in your vibration. All streams are open, and you feel wonderful. The switch is turned on and you're tuned in. Nonetheless, if you have a negative opinion of yourself or others, if you believe they have done something wrong and should be ashamed, then you are out of alignment with Source. Why are you out of alignment when you have negative opinions? You are choosing a focus that contradicts the vibrational nature of your source energy and your true self. It becomes a disconnect. You step outside of yourself. In other words, you are out of bounds. Consequently, a powerful resistance has been introduced into your stream. And resistance, with its many levels, always shows up in the form of negative emotions. It's called a lot of different names: fear, hate, anger, frustration, depression, or overwhelming. Some are strong, some are milder. One who intentionally focuses is an intentional creator. As you become aware of your emotional state, pay attention to your vibration so that you can connect to who you really are. Allow who you really are to flow through you so that you may have the enjoyment of the moment. The way Source has the enjoyment of the moment. You're not new at this. The journey to get here didn't just happen. There is no assignment here for you to learn and prove your worth. You are worthy. You are extraordinary creators here in a world of innovation, using the energy that creates worlds toward your creative ends. When you feel good, you are doing just that. When you feel not good, you've pinched yourself off from the flow. As a result, you are riding in the discomfort of a diminished ability to create in the way you are capable and worthy of. Intentionally creating is also about being mindful of reconnecting with that flow of energy. By tending to your flow, you will tend to your connection with it. Your experience will be filled with everything you desire. Many people have embarked on the action journey in an effort to control the conditions of their lives. Be open to the emotional journey by gently shifting into its awareness and application. It simply means nothing is more important than feeling good, and that every effort is made towards being aligned with the energy of Source. Some people ask, won't teaching people to feel good jeopardize us all? Not even possible. It is not possible for someone to align with Source energy and then evoke or wreak havoc upon others. It just doesn't happen. You don't do mean things when you're connected to Source. You feel secure when you are connected. Whenever someone acts out in revenge, it's from a vibrational standpoint of fear or vulnerability. When you're secure, you don't behave like that. You know who you are, and you don't set out to prove your value by beating down others. Don't worry about the world becoming chaotic. With more and more people rediscovering their connection to who they are, the opposite will happen. Many teachers teach unconditional love, which will become more prevalent as more people rediscover their connection to who they really are. The emotional journey is about learning that you do not have to change the conditions. You just change your vibration, and then the conditions change. Make a distinction between the action journey many people are attempting and the emotional journey, which has a much higher chance of success for you. The emotional journey is simple, easy to apply, and massively productive for you. A typical action journey looks like this. There isn't enough money. Maybe there are more bills in the mailbox than money in the bank account. Perhaps calls are being received and or avoided from people who want money owed to them. Maybe frustration is lurking around, because there aren't many things to do that is desirous in the current situation. Maybe financial freedom is wanted. It is identified. There's just not enough money. What happens? It's not enough money. More needs to be earned. You're thinking, you're already at the top of the skill level, so more education is needed. Then you say, let me find out what the economy needs before pursuing more education, because education is going to take a little while. I need to figure out what futurist economists can predict down the road. And you continue to think and say, I need to figure out what the economy will be asking for at the end of my education. Once I find that person, maybe I better find several of them because they all think different things. Then I'll get a team of them together, and I'll figure out what the future economy is asking for. That's when I will set out to get the best education possible. I have to be careful to find something that is geared toward my skills. And I also have to figure out how to carve out time out of my experience to go back to get this education. I probably have to go into deeper debt in order to get the education that I'm going to need. I'll probably need some financing. I must find someone who I can convince that my futurists are right about what I'm studying. I will be prepared, and I have to convince them that I have the ability to stick to it. I really won't waste this money. Therefore, I will get my plan together, and then I will set out, and I will find all of the people who will line up with me. Then I will find a school, and I have to find one that's close enough. Well, now I'm going to move because there is no school that is close enough to me that I will be able to work and go to school. Now, you have the education. There is now a long sorting process to go through. In addition, you are applying to a variety of organizations. Now you have to convince them that you are the best person for the job, despite the fact that you are much older now. Even after all this schooling, you must prove to them that you have many more good years ahead. You need to do a really good interview. They hired you. You're not getting paid much at all. It is, after all, a new entry-level position. Now you have to convince them that you are really worth more than they are offering you. In fairness, this is not the journey that's recommended. So we're not putting it in the best light. However, it isn't too far from how many people approach this action journey towards earned income. The emotional journey is a bit simpler. It goes like this. I have to move emotionally from fear to joy. That is it. Being in the vibrational state of fear prevents you from receiving the things you're asking for. When you are in fear, worry, dread, or jealousy, you are not a vibrational match to what you've been asking for. When you complain, you are not a vibrational match to what you ask for. The emotional journey causes you to align self to receive. That has been the only thing that has ever been missing for anyone. The law of attraction understands everything in the universe. It responds to you constantly, consistently, precisely, and accurately based on your vibrations. When you worry, you haven't deliberately taken the emotional journey up the emotional scale. You have not done the only thing that you need to do, and all that money that you're asking for cannot come to you. There's not enough education in the world that will make a difference. How many people do you know have all the education in the world and can't manage to get in the right spot at the right time? Don't you hear them complaining? Don't you sense their frustration? Aren't you hearing them talking about the injustices in the world? There are no injustices. There is only justice. Everything is always just. What matters are the rules. You have to understand the rules. The rule says you can't feel bad and have good stuff come. That's the rule. The rule says you can't complain about what is and let something else in. When you're complaining about what is and making a big deal of that, you've activated it precisely as it is in your experience. Essentially, you are shouting to the universe, I hate this. Please fill my future with more of it. That's what complaining does. It says, no, I don't like this. Give me some more, please. Make no mistake. There is no lesson the universe is teaching you. The universe is not punishing you either. Although there are some very creative explanations for why things aren't turning out the way you want them to. People tend to say I inherited bad karma. Other times people say I was born into an environment where this is just my lot in life. When someone wants to get very creative, they say I must have been bad in a past life, and now I'm paying the price for it. That's not the case at all. Every time you focus on something, you develop attitudes or opinions about it, resulting in a block or resistance. It means you develop beliefs that do not and did not serve you well. It causes a disconnect between you and your true self. In the end, the law of attraction responds accordingly.